coming, everyone. My name is Nick. I'm Indian, I'm gay, and I'm 14 years old. So my parents are actually from India, but I grew up in Arizona. And it's hard being an Indian dude in Arizona because you can really feel people's disappointment when you don't live up to their stereotypes. They'll be like, oh, you're Indian. You just don't seem Indian. And I feel like I have to say, oh my God, I am so sorry I forgot to wear my billowing floral pants today. Can you please forgive me? Thank you, come again. And it's weird being a person of color in such a white state like Arizona because you end up trying to assimilate into the whiteness. Like, especially when I was a kid, I tried to act like the popular white kids in school just to fit in. I remember once this cool kid, Connor, came up to me. And he was like, yo, have you heard the new album by Chameleonaire? I was like, no, I haven't. He was like, homie, what's wrong with you? Get with it. So I went home and got with it. You know, I learned the whole album. I bought a t-shirt with his face on it. I started referring to my braces as my grill. And it wasn't until years later that I realized just how messed up that was. I was an Indian kid, acting like a white kid, acting like a black kid, acting like Chameleonaire. Of all people. And while I may not be your stereotypical Indian guy, I did have a lot of Indian problems growing up. Especially with my parents. You know, like right before I went to college, I went up to my dad, and I was like, Dad, I want to be a writer. And he was like, that's fantastic, Nick, but isn't it pronounced lawyer? No, Dad, I want to write books. Yes, there are many books in law school. I think the hardest expectation to deal with my parents was their expectation that I would be straight. Coming out to my parents was not easy. When I was 18, I went up to my mom, and I was like, Mom, I have something to tell you. I'm gay. And she was like, happy gay or AIDS gay? Disappointed gay, Mom. Disappointed gay. My dad took it a lot better, though. A week later, I went to him, and I was like, Dad, I have something to tell you. I'm gay. And he was like, that's fantastic, Nick, but isn't it pronounced lawyer? There's this tradition in Indian culture where parents arrange their kids' marriages. Like, my parents had an arranged marriage. A lot of my relatives had arranged marriages. And I thought the one benefit of coming out to my parents would be that I wouldn't have to deal with that bullshit anymore. But my mother is a dedicated woman. Just last week, she posted an ad on Facebook that read, my son, 21 years old, Indian, gay, works in entertainment, seeks Indian lesbian facing similar family pressure. It was a really awkward date. But I love being Indian, but I didn't always feel that way, especially when I was a kid. Once in elementary school, I was having lunch with my friend Samuel, and my mom had packed me a pretty typical lunch. I had 1 container of homemade chicken curry, 1 container of rice, and 1 container of more homemade chicken curry for later. And Samuel's mom had packed him a Lunchable. And he looked at my food and he was like, dude, that's weird. You gotta try this circular meat. And I was sold. Like, I didn't let my mom give me Indian food at school ever again. And around that age, I just started shunning everything Indian. I even swore off Bollywood. Like, I was like, Mom, I don't want to watch those movies anymore. They're dramatic, unrealistic, and campy. Now, please let me finish watching High School Musical. But really, for most of my childhood, I proudly identified as a coconut. Brown on the outside, white on the inside. I wore it as a badge of honor. And it wasn't until college that I started seeing my own race and realized that was kind of weird. Like, once my freshman year, a professor referred to me as a man of color. I had never been called that before. She said that, and I was like, whoa, I'm a man. So dumb. In case you're wondering, I now identify as a fig. brown on the outside, and who the fuck knows what on the inside. I'm really lost. Thank you for letting me talk about race on your night out. Thank you. It's hard talking about race. And sometimes I think it's a little harder talking about race with white people. For example, my boyfriend is white, and a few weeks ago I tried to strike up a casual conversation about white fragility, which is it's a concept that white people can get a little sensitive talking about race. And the moment I said those words, white fragility, he had such a typical white guy response. He got super defensive, and he died. There's one thing I really do want to talk to you guys about, though. A few weeks ago on the TV show Nightline, they were promoting an interview that they did with Priyanka Chopra, and she's the star of that new show, Quantico. But they used a photo of a different Indian woman. And then a couple weeks after that, some reporter was talking about Lamar Odom, but they used a picture of a different black guy. And like last year sometime, a reporter was talking to Samuel Jackson and thought he was talking to Lawrence Fishburne. Or the other way around, I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is this keeps happening, and it's gotta stop. And I'm pretty sure I have a solution. Until the media can go one full year without mixing up people of color, they have to use a photo of Ben Affleck for every white guy. Indiscriminately. And I actually started a petition on whitehouse.gov because I feel like Obama will understand. By the way, wasn't he great in The Matrix? I think one of the weirdest things about race is that sometimes you get racist toward your own race. Like, I was at Walgreens with my sister a few weeks ago, and the guy behind the counter was this Indian dude from India, didn't really speak English. The line was moving pretty slow. And my sister was like, why can't this guy just learn English? We live in America. And I was so shocked that she said that. I was like, Shannon, I don't want to deal with your internalized racism right now. Let's just buy our skin bleaching cream and get the fuck out of here. Thanks, guys. My name is Nick Dodano.
No, okay, so I've been watching a lot of cable news. Have y'all been watching this presidential election? Oh my God, it's really scary because I have a 1-year-old at home and I have the TV on going on in the background when I'm doing shit, and I don't realize this, but I think by osmosis, she has become a Trump supporter. I'm for real. She can't really talk, but she points me to build her a fucking Lego wall around her. And since I'm the only brown dude in the house, she's like, you better build that shit, homie. And then she lets all the other Disney princesses behind the wall, except for Princess Jasmine and Pocahontas. It's fucked up. I need to turn off MSNBC. It's scaring my daughter. No, and did y'all hear about the Hollywood star and Trump, and Trump's Hollywood star, and how they're talking about removing it? Did you hear about this? They're talking about removing the Hollywood star because people have been vandalizing it, and the workers have been complaining because they're tired of picking up the human shit that people have been leaving to shit, that people have been shitting on the Trump star. Yes! Yes! Now, I've never really been compelled to shit in public. But,
I like it.
I mean, 6801 West Hollywood Boulevard. I'm gonna do it tonight. If y'all wanna join me, I just don't want shit on my Jordans, okay? Thank you very much. I'm Eric Esteban.
here tonight. I'm not that kind of Asian. Successful. I'm Shabana. The easiest way to remember that is it rhymes with banana. I would spell it for you, but I went to a state school. I'm not that good with numbers either. But I don't need either. I'm an actress. I see you wondering, have you seen me in something? I don't do porn. The money's terrible, and it's a non-union contract. My dream has always been to have a lead role in Baywatch. I just got my big break. I'm an extra in next week's Crime Watch. I'm playing the third policewoman from the left, and I am face down, but you'll recognise it's me. I'm the brown one. Other actors, they always ask me, which drama school did you go to? I didn't need one. I've been getting away with lying since I was 5 years old. Having immigrant parents is great. They're illiterate. School report time was fantastic. I just made up my own reviews. I am child number 5 out of 6. Luckily 3 and 4 died. Less competition. Although, being child number 5, it's a bit of a disaster. All the decent DNA's been used up. I'm literally a collection of junk and leftovers. Growing up was really hard. I was the only atheist in a house full of Muslims. They just weren't that understanding. My main issue with Islam is that it's really time-consuming. You have to pray 5 times a day. When am I supposed to fit the pub in? And these Muslims, they just make the rules up as they go along. For example, I went to see my cousin the other day, and she offered me some wine. I was like, aren't you supposed to be a Muslim? She was like, no, the Prophet drank. I was like, I don't think Muhammad was a drinker. She's like, no, but Jesus did. I was like, that's a different religion. You can't just pick and mix the bits you like. Apparently, according to the Quran, alcohol is forbidden. It's a shame it didn't mention anything about drugs or shagging underage white girls. I did have 2 cousins die from drug overdoses. I would like to say it was a loss, but they just weren't that smart. I mean, one of them, he was sent to Pakistan to detox from coke. He came back with a heroin addiction. And they say the drugs don't work. The other cousin, he was due to have an arranged marriage. He basically freebased until his heart gave up. I mean, that's one way of avoiding commitment. I did have to leave Derby at 17, though. It was really racist. I was called dark and ugly every day by my own mother. Recently turned 40. People keep asking me how I look so young. Adult acne. The gift that keeps on giving. Or is that herpes? I don't know, but nothing quite says youth like a face full of spots, does it? I broke up too recently. I'm devastated. And now I have to spend my own money. We broke up due to trust issues. I just wanted to be put on his life insurance policy, and he thought I was going to murder him. Like 6 years together, and he still doesn't know me. I just get my brother to break his legs. That's how we Asians do it. I have had to try online dating though. I tried Tinder. It's been a flipping nightmare. I don't know my left from my right. What is it with men on Tinder? They think they can just order you up like pizza. My middle name isn't Deliveroo. You can't just tap the app and poof, I appear like magic. So, I've had to go offline. I thought there must be somewhere where I can hang out, meet other singles, have a drink or 2. You know, get to talk about myself for a few minutes, see if there's any chemistry or not. A chance to meet loads of single people in one night. This is my 3rd open mic gig and still no match. So, when they pass around the paper at the end, please can you put a tip by my name? It's Shabana, rhymes with banana. Thank you.